On this video, I'll show you how to create users and groups, set up multi-factor authentication, and create password policy using IAM. I'll also show you how to activate your billing dashboard using your admin account. If you're new to this channel, please consider subscribing. Now let's log into our AWS account using our root account. Now that it's logged in, go to Find Services over here and type in IAM. This will launch the Identity and Access Management. Under Security Status, we have 5 things that we need to complete. The first one is actually completed for us. In the past, you had to delete this yourself, but it's now done for us automatically. The next thing is activate your multi-factor authentication. Click Manage MFA. This gives us a reminder on where we are on. Then click Continue to Security Credentials. And here, click on Multi-Factor Authentication. Then activate MFA. There are 3 ways we can activate MFA. The first one is the easiest one, which is Virtual MFA Device. This one only requires a mobile app on your device. If you've never used a Virtual MFA before, click List of Compatible Applications. This full page gives you a description on the multi-factor authenticators, as well as the virtual MFA that you can download. Here, it lists all the applications that you can download for your iPhone and Android. Once you've downloaded the application on your device, click Show QR Code. Then open your MFA application on your device, scan your QR code, then enter the MFA codes below the QR code. You enter the first one, then wait until it gives you the second code, then input it on code 2. Once done, click Assign MFA. And then that's it. Now every time you log into your AWS account, it will always ask you for your MFA code. Let's go back to our dashboard. Now let's move on to the third one, which is creating IAM users. We will create 3 users here. One is admin, the other is developer, as well as a tester. Click Manage Users, then Add User. I'll create the admin first. We'll put in Admin Joe. For access type, we'll use both programmatic and management console. The difference is the programmatic access has command line interface, but the other is just a web console. For password, we'll use an auto-generated one, although you can put your own custom password. And I'll also require the user to reset the password when they first sign in. Proceed to the next permission. Click that button. For permissions, we have 3 options here. Add a user to a group, which we don't have one. We'll create one later on. You can also copy permission from an existing user. We don't have a user yet. Or attach existing policies. Under Set Permission Boundary, it's default without boundary. You can also pick a permission boundary if you want to assign a more strict permission. For example, if you want someone to be an admin, but you don't want them to be able to create users. I'll leave it without boundaries for now and can edit it later on. The next one is tags, which is optional. You can put a few descriptions here like email address, name, or any descriptions that you want. Click Next Review. Here, it gives us a summary of all the settings that we're about to apply. Now, click Create User. And now, we've created our first user. As you can see, it has our secret key, which we can use for our SDK or CLI. Our password is also here, which you can make it visible by clicking Show. And if you want to email the credentials, you can click Send Email so it sends the user their login information. And if you want to download the credentials shown here, click the Download button. Let's move on and create our second user. Click Add User. This time we'll create a developer user. We'll create the same access as the administrator. If your developer doesn't require CLI access, I suggest you don't turn it on for that user. Auto-generate password, and we'll require it to change password when it signs in. Click Next Permissions. We'll ignore this for now. We'll create a group later on. So click on Next tag. This time we'll leave this blank because it's optional. Click Next Review. And now it gives us a summary of what we're about to do. Click Create User. And it has now created a user. Let's download the credentials. We'll save it on my desktop. So now let's add the third user, which is the tester. We'll create the same access type. Similar to the developer, if your tester doesn't require CLI access, it's best that you don't give it programmatic access. I'll leave the auto-generated password and allow the user to change the password when they log in. Click Next Tags. And we'll go Next again and create user. Okay, I'm going to download the credentials. We now have 3 users. So the next thing we need to do is create groups. Let's go back to our dashboard. As you can see, we've completed 3 things here. If you were able to create a user so far, click the thumbs up button. This will help me determine if this tutorial is helpful to everyone. And if you run into issues, please let me know in the comments below. Click Use Groups to assign permission and click Manage Groups. Select the Create New Group button. The first one we're going to create is the admin group. Click Next Step. Here's where we are going to create this group's access. We can see that IAM user change password has 3 entities. This refers to the 3 users we created earlier. Since this is the admin group, I'll give it admin access, which gives this group full access to AWS services and resources. Click Next Step. Then click Create Group. So we've now created the admin group. Let's create the developer group. I'll put dev group here. The next step. Here we'll give the developers EC2 access. This will allow them to start and stop our EC2 server. Click Next Step. And then Create Group. Now we can create the tester group. I'll put test group here. And then click Next Step. This group will just give them EC2 read access only. Click Next Step. Basically, what I'm showing you here is you can limit permissions to a specific user or groups in order to secure your AWS server. Now that I've created all the groups, let's add some users on this group. Click the admin group, and here, click the button that says Add Users to Group. And we definitely want admin Joe in here. Then click Add Users. That's it. Now let's go back to the groups. We can click this group here. Let's set up dev group. Add a user again. Dev Joe. Add users. Let's do one for the tester group. So now let's click on groups again. Now that we have all the users in our group, let's go back to the dashboard. So now the last thing we need to do is change the password policy. If you have run into issues, put it in the comment below and I'll respond to you as soon as I can. So now click the drop down for the password policy and click Manage Password Policy button. Now click Set Password Policy, and here you can change all the settings, increase the characters, add some other alphabet, lowercase and uppercase, as well as numbers. You can even change the expiry to longer than 90 days if you want to. If you want, you can allow them to change their password or not, as well as reuse their passwords. I'm going to change this back to 90 days and then save changes. Now let's go back to our dashboard. The last thing we want to do is change our web address when signing in. This link has our account name, but we can change that by clicking Customize and then put your account alias. So I'll put stuff box here and then create. Now we'll use this to sign into our account. You can click the copy link and then let's try signing in. I'm going to sign out first. And then paste the link here. Hit enter. It automatically adds the alias here. And then we'll log in using Admin Joe. And then I'll enter the password here and click sign in. So now here, if you remember, when I created the users, I set it so the password would need to be changed the first time the user logs in. I already copied the password that I want to put, so I'll just paste it here. Then click confirm password change to change the password. And that's it, we're logged in. Now if we check our IAM, we can see, just like the root account, we'll finish all the security status. As the admin, we should be able to check our billing. Click My Account. It will load Billing Management Console, and it looks like we don't have permission for it. Now let's go back to our root account and allow the admin to have permission for it. I'm going to open another browser and then log into my root account. I'll do that by using a private window on Firefox, or you can use incognito mode on Chrome. I'll log into my AWS Management Console. And from here, click on your name and then My Account. This should load the Billing Management Console. If you scroll all the way down, look for IAM User and Role Access to Billing Information. Activate it for IAM Access and then Update. And now let's go back to Policy by going to IAM. Then edit the group by clicking Groups. And then under the admin group, edit the admin group and then attach a policy. Look for billing, click a check mark and then attach a policy. And that's it. Our admin group should have billing access and can see all the account information. Now if we go back and refresh our admin account and refresh it, and there you go. Now we can see the billing and cost management dashboard. Thank you very much for watching. I hope this helped you. If you have any questions, please leave it in a comment below, and please don't forget to subscribe. And if this helped you, please click like.